Hey guys, welcome back to the Unpolitical but Political podcast. I hope you guys are well. As you can see, I feel very good today. I got a haircut, I got my hair done, I feel so good. But this topic today is very I know it's going to be slightly triggering for some people, especially if you know that you're not as confident or secure within yourself. But today we're going to talk about insecurities. Also, guys, just to let you know, a technical issue happened with one of my episodes on emotional intelligence, and for some reason it's been removed from my episodes on Spotify. So I've republished it, and I hope that it will go back on. It will be republished on Spotify, but for the meantime, please go and restream it. Help me out again, I guess. Please help me out. Stream it as many times as you can. Go listen. Go and stream my recent episode that was done yesterday called Vulnerabilities. Please go and stream it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so today we're talking about insecurities, which I think is a big one for a lot of people out there. I could say that there was a time in my life where I was pretty much insecure, but I wouldn't say that I was insecure within myself. I was just insecure with the person that I am, because I don't know if I told you guys, but I am autistic. So I had a very long, hard educational life. And it took me so long to get to where I am now. And I'm so happy that I can now say that I'm at uni and I'm, working towards a degree, and everything just fell into my hands, which makes me very happy. But yeah, insecurity is a big one. I feel like some people deal with a lot of insecurity, and insecurity can be shown and projected in so many different ways. A lot of people tend to show their insecurity through self-projection, making fun of other individuals is a form of self-projection. Nitpicking at someone's looks is a form of self. There's so many ways, but insecurity is basically when you don't feel a sense of uncertainty. You feel a sense of uncertainty, and you don't feel good enough, and it also produces anxiety about long-term goals, relationships, ability to handle certain situations, and also it can appear in all areas of your life. From a variety of causes. It can stem from a traumatic event. It can stem from patterns of previous experiences. It can stem from social conditioning, such as learning rules by observing others. It can stem from a local environment, such as a school, a home, or a workplace. But overall, I feel like a lot of people deal with insecurity. I think insecurity is a lack of self-awareness, self-love, and a sense of security. I think a lot of people, I think it also kind of ties into social media a little bit, because on social media a lot of people tend to compare themselves to other people and wish that they looked a type of way when they see other girls or other boys looking good. They want to go and tear that person down, which I think is really messed up. And I also think that insecurity is can stem from general instability, people who have experienced unpredictable upsets in daily life, or are most likely to feel insecure about certain situations. I feel like insecurity is brain chemistry, just trying to identify the person that you are and who you are, and some people might have body dysmorphia, or might not feel good about themselves because of an eating disorder, or a lack of not reaching your goal. For me personally, I've started going to the gym, and I've been pretty consistent since I started, and I've only not gone for a while because I've come back to London for my Easter break, but I'm going back on Monday, so from there I will start going to the gym more consistently. But honestly, I literally, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I was in the gym, and my goal specifically is to try and like bring more definition into my upper body, and like be upper body, like have a very strong upper body physique. And so I've been like trying to keep it consistent, and I'm not the best when it comes to diet. I get very carried away easily, and so I'm trying to like be a bit more self-disciplined and like put myself onto more higher protein and like eat more vegetables and stuff like that. Anyways, so I was in the gym, and I was doing weights, and I'm very good at doing weights. I lift pretty heavy weights, and in the gym it can be very self-inflicting and very it can be very intimidating sometimes when you you're in the gym working on yourself, and sometimes you have to put in your mind that there's other people in there who are on different paths. So then I was doing my weights, I was doing bicep curls and stuff like that, and some man walked in. And you know me, I don't know if you guys know, but I don't get very intimidated by men very easily. Because scientifically, men and women are very different, but everyone's capable of aiming for something, whether it be more masculine or whatever. A man walked in, and he had the body I was like sort of aiming for, but it was more masculine. But I'm not trying to aim for that. I'm trying to aim for like a more like toned upper body, masculine physique. And so I was in there, and he walks in, and I'm already like intimidated by him. I'm like, holy shit, like if only I was in your position right now, I would probably be coming to the gym more often just to show it off, because it wasn't even a sense of insecurity, it was a sense of like comparison. And I was like, I told myself, I said, Destiny, don't even compare yourself. Like, you started somewhere in this life, and now you're making your way to the top. Like, everyone started where you are now, and they managed to get to that extent. But the only thing you need to do is just keep it consistent and work towards it, and you will be completely fine. So that was like a sense of time where I compared myself to somebody, which is very rare. I don't really compare myself. If I want something, I work for it, or I go and act on it. But yeah, a lot of people lack insecurity. They always say that sometimes understanding the nature of insecurities can help you manage your own, and can also offer others with the support they need. So if you're insecure within yourself, at least you can go and help somebody else, because you know that if they feel insecure, you guys can work together to gain a more sense of security, and also can relate to each other's experiences, and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like being insecure sometimes can limit potential insecurity, like can be limitless to other areas of potential insecurity. Like, for me personally, I remember I mentioned this in my previous podcast, that I deal with a lot of jealousy, and jealousy does stem from insecurity. Like, just for anyone out there, in case you didn't know, if you do deal with jealousy or any form of bullying, a lot of it can be stemmed from insecurity, or not having, it doesn't even have to be like looks wise or like something that someone has. It can just be like how you carry yourself, the amount of compliments you get. I don't know if you guys heard this story, but there was a story of these two individuals, and they were like sisters or siblings or something, and the girl that was in there was like the one getting the most compliments and stuff, and like people were like coming for her, and like she was getting a lot of guys and stuff, and her sister was so insecure and jealous of her that she went out her way and threw acid on her, and now the sister's in the hospital getting treated because she got acid thrown on her, simply because of a natural thing that she just has. Like, you know how someone's just naturally beautiful and they just maintain it by like going for regular changes in their hair, and like just maintaining their looks. She was just doing that, and then because they would go out together a lot of the time, the sister started to realize that she started getting more compliments than she was, and like just a lot of things, and the girl just lacked insecurity, and like she decided that she wanted to throw acid on her sister because her sister was the one getting more compliments, and she didn't like that her sister was getting more compliments and that her sister was pulling more guys in the club. And I was just like, who does that shit? Like, imagine being so insecure and lacking such insecurity within yourself that you go out your way and throw acid on your sister because she's getting more compliments than you. Like, in my dream world, I would never do that to anybody in my family if I knew that they were getting more compliments than me. I would uplift them and make them feel good about themselves. I wouldn't just, like, feel a sense of insecurity to go and do that shit. Like, for me personally, I'm very secure within myself that I don't feel like I have to go that far and throw whatever substance on somebody else because they're getting more compliments than I am. Like, life is unfair. You're going to have that situation happen to you anyway. Not the acid thing. I'm just saying, like, someone's going to get more compliments or be better looking than you, and you just have to accept it. But when I heard that story, I was very, like, baffled. I was like, how can you behave like that? Anyways, another sense of insecurity is body image. A lot of people suffer with body image and like how they look body-wise. A lot of people don't like the whole situation with the stretch marks. I don't know why. Like, a lot of people just hate it. Like, do you know when you get stretch marks on the side of your hips or whatever, or like just anywhere on your body? For women, it's very like common because obviously we go through a lot as women, but a lot of girls feel insecure about their stretch marks or like, you know, body fat or, you know, just certain things that hang. But like, I feel like the only way to feel secure about those things is just to love it and accept it and work on it. Like, a lot of people out there get very intimidated when they see somebody with the body that they like or whatever, or on social media when you're scrolling and you get like these people that come up on social media and they're like, you know, 5 ways to like lose weight in like fucking 2 days. And it's like, how the fuck is that possible? Like, not even I could do that shit if I wanted to. Like, I've been on social media so many times and I've seen like a lot of like ads like trying to guilt trip people into believing that that's the actual way that you can lose weight in a specific amount of time. And I'm thinking, in reality, that's not how it actually works. If I really wanted to some people can do it, I mean, quotes to you, but like, to other people who already suffer with body image, trying to aim for that goal specifically can be very hard because it's like, you can even develop body dysmorphia from trying to like limit yourself by trying to aim for a specific body in like a few days, because the only thing that you're doing now, you're further perpetuating the lack of insecurity that you have within yourself, trying to give yourself like a false high of, I have to get this body before I do. And when you're in the thick of doing it, because you want the results so quickly, you can't accept that there's change happening. You will just keep trying to look for results in every workout that you do, that even aiming for that that timeline is very hard for you. There's a thing called social insecurity and anxiety. A lot of people get insecure when they surround themselves by other people because they're scared of how they're going to be perceived by their peers. I feel like I have social insecurity, not in a sense of how I'm going to be perceived. I think it's just like the lack of, like, you know, when you go to like a event and someone is speaking to you more than they're speaking to somebody else, that can be a sense of insecurity. If you feel like someone is speaking to you more than somebody else, or you feel like you feel a type of way because you're not getting spoken to as much by somebody else, that's a sense of social insecurity. And that can lead to like social anxiety disorder or social phobia, because whatever you do socially, like over time, because you're so insecure about something, you can't even accept that that's how it is. But yeah, I think social insecurity is a hard one, because where do you actually channel that sense of insecurity within yourself when having a conversation with somebody? Like, how can I have a conversation with someone and then immediately say, oh, I feel insecure now because of X, Y, and Z? But yeah, What else? Perfectionism is important, like a big reason why insecurity occurs, because a lot of people just cannot accept that they're not as perfect as everybody else. I think everyone is trying to live for this perfect aesthetic, especially with the way social media like perpetuates this narrative that you have to be perfect all the time and you have to live a life of sunshine and rainbows, when realistically that's not how it is. And like I said, and I'll say it 100 times more, is that social media is bullshit. It is a facade. It is fake. It is curated. People only show you what they want to fucking show you. They don't show you all of it. And, you know, perfectionism is like a sense of the inability of being satisfied with progress and need to control when they are not, like, perfect, if that makes sense. Like, that's just a sign. Like, you overdo things to meet the perfect criteria, and if they don't go that way, then that's when you start like lacking. You start to reach for perfectionism, because you just can't accept that, you know, that's just how you are. You want everything to be perfect. You want your body to look a type of way. You want your physique to look a type of way. You want your facial structure to look a type of way. You want your hairline to look a type of way. You want your hair to, you know, fall back a type of way. And that's just all a sense of insecurity, because you're not happy with what you already have. You're searching for external validation in others just so that you feel secure within yourself. Eating disorder, like I said, is another reason why perfectionism sits in it. It's very harmful as well if you know, seek external validation. If you're not happy within yourself, that's what a lot of insecure people tend to do. They tend to seek external validation from their peers or people outside of their family life just to feel accepted and good about themselves, instead of just, you know, accepting that that's just how they are. And yeah, it even leads to like attachment issues as well, which is like a form of attachment insecurities essentially. Self-isolation can be a sense of insecurity. If you lack social insecurity, that can lead to like avoiding social interactions or isolating yourself, or like sometimes, you know, going to people that you prefer other than, like, a lot of the time people who lack social insecurity will just go to people that they know. They won't like go around and like network. They will only stick to the people that they know, because they lack so much social insecurity that they avoid social interactions. But there's a difference between being socially insecure and also having like social anxiety. If you have attachment insecurities, that can often result in problematic attachment styles or dysfunctional approaches to relationships. But those are like more common in like people who are anxious or avoidant, or who have avoidant attachment. But anxious attachment, because the styles are characterized by emotional dependence, which means that, you know, you're either relying on someone else for your emotional well-being. That can be a fear of being lonely. And like, because like in that situation, when you have avoidant attachment issues, that stems from insecurity, because not only do you stick to like the same lifestyle that you live, but you try and find it in other people. So like a lot of girls out there, they tend to if they can't find what they're looking for in a man, they will try and like do everything under the sun to try and get the attention from that guy. So a lot of people will. There's a quote that has now become like a trend, where it's called the pick me sort of girl. Anyone who like forces this narrative that they have to look a type of way just to impress somebody else, or go above and beyond to impress somebody. That's a form of insecurity, because you're not secure within yourself. You have to like seek it in other people. Yeah, that's it really. It's not really a long one, but I wanted to really talk about this because I think it's important that people realise that insecurity can fluctuate in so many different ways, and people have it more than others. I wouldn't say I'm insecure. I don't think I've ever had to deal with insecurity. Maybe I have, I don't know. But from the life that I live, I don't really feel like I deal with insecurity. But like I said, they kind of rise from different areas, such as relationship, your work, your body image, your ability to navigate social situations, or just like the sense of doubting yourself, which ties into negative thoughts. But yeah, there's a quote that I saw that says, insecurity is a different feeling to live with, because it can cause you to feel unsure of yourself and constantly question your worth, which I think is so true. And that quote was written by a woman called Sabrina Romanoff, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't want to butcher her name, but that was the woman that said that quote, which I think is important. So here's like a table where it says like insecure people, feeling inadequate, constantly doubting your self-worth, being unsure of yourself, questioning your relationships, fearing that people will abandon you, feeling out of place in social settings, obsessing over your shortcomings, being overly sensitive to criticism, not trusting yourself to handle difficult situations, not being willing to take any personal or professional risk. That's insecure people. Secure people feel confident, having a healthy sense of self-esteem, trust in your instincts, being secure in your relationships, not depending on others for approval, being comfortable in social settings, accepting yourself and your body, being open to constructive feedback, having faith in your ability to handle challenges, and not being afraid to reach for what you want. So if you compare those two together, this is the question for you guys. Which part would you say you sit in? The insecure table or the secure table? I feel like I sit in the secure table because I can take all of those with a grain of fucking salt. A lot of people can't, which gives you a sense of insecurity. But like I said, a lot of them do tie into a lot of things. So some of it can be childhood trauma, unhealthy relationships, setbacks, external focus, or social or cultural factors. So with the childhood trauma, it could be a sense of being bullied, mistreated, neglected, or abused by caregivers, which can make you feel like you're not good enough. It can affect your confidence and cause you to feel insecure because you might not believe that you are worthy, or you're worth the love and support of others. In an unhealthy relationship, you might have been treated poorly by friends, family members, colleagues, or romantic partners, which can make it hard for you to trust others. It can also make it hard for you to trust your instincts about whether or not people are trustworthy. No matter how much people say that they actually love you, you won't even take it because you've been through so much trauma and people telling you otherwise that you can't even accept the good stuff. Setbacks. So if you've experienced a lot of setbacks such as divorce, breakups, or job loss, that can take a toll on your self-esteem and self-confidence. That can make you also feel insecure. External focus, stuff like awards, medals, or trophies. Those are external factors. In places like work and dedication. So I feel like when you receive those things, it brings a sense of own self-worth because, you're relying on other people for approval to feel secure. So when we do things in life, we often expect for us to have a certificate with that thing that we did or a trophy. Like when I was in athletics, I always wanted a medal. And that was a sense of an external factor. A sort of me being secure with, what I did in athletics. I needed an approval to feel secure. Social and cultural factors also tie into this, which basically means that the way that I look at it is that society often idolizes impossible standards of beauty and unattainable lifestyles. So that ties into what I said before, where you compare yourself to unrealistic standards that can make you feel insecure about yourself. And that also ties into social media, because social media is a curated platform that makes people believe otherwise, and that's where it comes into the body dysmorphic situations, eating disorders, insecurities, comparing yourself to other individuals, that, mind you, these people don't even look like themselves half of the time. And yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's basically it for today. For anyone who does feel insecure, trust me, there's ways to combat it and feel a sense of self-worth again. I think for me personally, I've never had to feel insecure, but things that do help me on a day-to-day basis is writing down affirmations, or like listening to things that make me feel good, or following people on social media that make you feel good and like that are actually not further perpetuating this narrative. There's so many ways of helping yourself. Let's stop comparing yourself to other fucking people. Like, most of these people that you compare yourself to lack a sense of insecurity in whatever way, shape or form. Like, no one is the way that they look on social media. Life is not the way that people make it look on social media. Like, everything is just bullshit. Everything is fake. I believe self-love, self-worth, self-acceptance and self-authenticity can go way more further than comparing yourself to people who wish that they look that way. The way that they project it on social media. Do you really think that they look like that in real life? Be so for real. Like, honestly, a lot of these people are the reasons why girls in specific are higher in the statistics, because we crave so much external validation from others. We already nitpick at each other as women. We can't uplift each other. Men who are higher in patriarchy have put us in this pedestal that we have to be pitch perfect all the time. We have to have this specific body. We have to do our hair a type of way. We have to have lips like this, a booty like this, boobs like this, arms like this, a facial structure like this. And it's just like, if we already suffer on top as women with the amount of hate from men, then think of how insecure we already must be. Not all of us, but some of us, like, you know. But yeah, that's my advice to you. Just don't compare yourself to other people. Learn to love yourself. Sometimes working on it can help. Like, if you feel insecure about your body, sometimes, you know, sort of going out your way to do BBL or like injections, sometimes going to the gym and getting that natural body regulated and the natural chemicals in your body, like the natural chemicals in your body that helps you lose weight, instead of trying to add more to it, go to the gym and make that natural chemical work around those problems that you have. So let it burn it off for you. Don't go and do things that are superficial and like permanent, you know. Because at least when you go to the gym, it does it naturally for you. And it's also good for mental health and like releasing endorphins and making you feel better and bringing like a sense of happiness in you and like stuff like that. But yeah, for anyone who does feel insecure, please, like, you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are accepted in this world. I accept you, I stand with you. Even though I don't have a sense of insecurity, but I do stand with you. I know how it feels to not feel the best about yourself. Don't compare yourself to social media, because everyone on there is wishing that they look the way that they do portray it on social media. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. I have been Destiny. Go stream the recent episode 6, vulnerabilities that I posted yesterday. Please go restream Emotional Intelligence episode 4. Like I said in the beginning of this podcast, there was technical issues, so it did get removed for some reason, and I've republished it, so I hope that you can go and stream it. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. I can see that you guys are really enjoying it. Keep streaming, keep downloading, send it to a friend. Email me if you want to collab. Like, I'm down for anything, honestly. Just help me out. And yeah, thank you for listening, guys. Keep yourself updated and also stay tuned. I'm about to post this one. Thank you for listening, guys. I have been Destiny. Thank you for listening to the Unpolitical But Political podcast, and I will see you on the next one.